The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town. The paint was peeling, like old dry skin. Wind whispered through the eaves. It sounded like quiet sighs. Sarah unlocked the heavy oak door. It groaned in protest as she stepped inside. Dust motes danced in weak sunlight. The air was cold, colder than outside. A stillness filled the rooms, a waiting kind of quiet. She walked through the empty spaces. Her footsteps echoed loudly, too loudly for an empty house. Each room felt vast and shadowed, even with the afternoon sun. She tried to imagine her furniture here, bright colours, warm fabrics, but the house seemed to resist. It held onto its gloom, its long, silent history. She felt a small shiver. Just nerves, she told herself. New place, all alone. She found the kitchen. It was surprisingly large, with a very old stove, the kind with iron doors, and a deep porcelain sink. Faucets dripped, a slow, steady rhythm. Drip, drip, drip. Like a patient clock counting down to something. Sarah shivered again, this time not just from cold. She wanted to open a window, but they were all stuck fast, painted shut many years ago. Upstairs, the bedrooms were numerous. Each one held the same chill, the same expectant silence. Wallpaper was faded, patterns barely visible, like old, forgotten memories. She chose a room at the front. It had a wide window overlooking the winding road. She hoped for more light here, more connection to the outside world. But even here, the shadows clung. They gathered in the corners, watching her. Days passed. Sarah unpacked her boxes. The house slowly filled with her things, books on shelves, clothes in drawers. Yet it still felt empty. The chill remained, a constant companion. One afternoon she decided to explore the attic. A small, narrow door hidden at the end of the upstairs hallway. She pulled the string. Stairs creaked down. Dust fell like soft snow. The air above was thick and smelled of time. The attic was a graveyard of forgotten things, trunks, broken chairs, old paintings with dark eyes. Cobwebs draped everything like silken funeral shrouds. Sunlight struggled through a single dirty window, casting weak, pale beams, illuminating small islands in the gloom. Sarah moved carefully, her breath pluming in the cold air. She felt a strange curiosity mixed with a definite sense of unease. This place held secrets. In a far corner, almost hidden, she saw it. Covered by a stained linen sheet, something tall and vaguely rectangular. She pulled the sheet away. A mirror, large and ornate. The frame was dark wood carved with strange, swirling designs, flowers and twisting vines. The glass itself was very clear, unnaturally clear for its age. It seemed to drink the dim light, reflecting nothing yet, just a dark, waiting surface. She felt a strange pull towards it. It was beautiful in a cold, severe way. She decided to take it, clean it, hang it in her bedroom. It would add character, she thought, a touch of antique charm. She wrestled it down the narrow stairs. It was heavier than it looked, much heavier. As she carried it, she thought she heard a whisper from the glass. Or maybe just the old house settling. She told herself it was the house. Sarah cleaned the mirror carefully. The dark wood gleamed. The glass shone. She hung it on her bedroom wall, opposite her bed. It reflected the room, but something was wrong. The reflection seemed darker, the colours muted, as if looking into a slightly different world, a sadder world. She looked at her own reflection. It looked back, pale, serious. Her eyes seemed wider, more frightened. The first time, she barely noticed. She raised her right hand to brush her hair. Her reflection raised its left hand as it should. But did it move first? A fraction of a second early? She frowned, tried again. She nodded. The reflection nodded. It seemed normal. She must be tired. The old house, the shadows, they were playing tricks on her mind. She tried to ignore the feeling, the cold knot in her stomach, but it happened again and again. She would reach for something. Her reflection already had it. She would turn her head. The reflection was already looking away. Its movements were precise, fluid, and always just before hers. A terrible game of follow the leader, but she was not leading. The unease grew into a creeping dread. She started to avoid the mirror, covering it with a cloth at night. One evening she forgot the cloth. She woke suddenly in the dead of night. The room was dark. Moonlight cast long shadows. She looked at the mirror. Her reflection was sitting up in bed, staring straight at her. Sarah had not moved. She was lying perfectly still, frozen by fear. The reflection slowly raised a hand. It beckoned, a silent, cold invitation. Its eyes were dark pools, empty of warmth, full of something else. Fear turned to terror. Sarah wanted to scream, but her throat was tight. No sound came out. She stared at the thing in the mirror, the thing that wore her face. It smiled then, a slow, chilling smile. Not her smile at all. It was predatory, knowing. The reflection pushed its blankets aside. It swung its legs out of the bed in the mirror world. It stood up, still smiling that terrible smile. It walked towards the surface of the glass, closer and closer. Sarah felt a coldness spread from the mirror. It filled the room, stole her breath. The reflection reached the glass. It did not stop. It pressed its hand against the surface. But the hand did not just touch. It began to push through. The silver surface rippled like dark water. The reflection was coming out, stepping out of its world and into hers. Sarah finally found her voice, a small, choked gasp. She tried to scramble back, away from the mirror, but it was too late. The other her was halfway out. It reached for her. Its touch was like ice, burning cold. It grabbed her arm, pulled her towards the shimmering glass. Sarah struggled, but it was too strong, too determined. She felt herself being drawn into the cold, dark surface. The world twisted, colors inverted. She was inside, looking out, trapped. The other her stood in the room, her room. It looked around, smiled again, that awful, triumphant smile. It touched its face, her face. Then it turned away from the mirror and walked out of the bedroom into the house. Free. Sarah banged on the glass, screamed, but no one could hear her. She was just a reflection now, a memory. Forever watching, forever unseen in the haunted mirror.